Post-match interview here at the Erie following today's 2-1 win over Welwyn Garden City. Dave, I felt it was a different kind of performance to last week. I thought away at Tame was probably arguably one of our best performances of the season today. First half we maybe weren't at our best, and credit Welwyn. I thought they were decent in the first half and caused us problems, but I thought we showed really good resilience and resolve to stay in the game. We then get the goal right on half time to put us back in it, and then second half we were probably the better team, and in the end probably deserved the result.
Yeah, well, I think we did overall. Look, let's be honest about it. I thought Welwyn were outstanding in the first half. JJ saves a penalty, so it could have been 2-0. And some of their football was outstanding, and we struggled to stay with them. And more importantly, for that reason, they made us go long. We didn't play our normal game, so you have to credit them with that. We were disappointed. We spoke about it at half time, but you know, credit Welwyn. They stopped us playing our natural game, which we were disappointed with. Albeit we had 2 or 3 opportunities where we got beyond them in the first half, and Christ, I don't know how we've not even pulled the trigger on a couple of them. And then we get the goal right at the death to level it 1-1. At half time, we recognised what we needed to do, and we gave, because we played it, you know, the show we played, we gave specific orders to the forwards on where they need to be when Welwyn were in possession of the ball. Changed how the fullbacks played, and generally just, you know, the tweaks we felt we had to make, the right tweaks, did so. And I thought from that, they then struggled what we did, and we then, I felt, probably dominated a lot of the second half, and got the one. Should have had what I mean. The keeper's made an unbelievable save from Adam. I don't know what Randy was thinking. He only had to jink around the keeper and roll it in, and he's.
I think maybe he didn't realise that he had the time that he did, because it was almost the 2 defenders had almost given it up, and he's maybe thought he was under more pressure than he was.
Yeah, it could be that, but listen, the young lad's got to have more composure than that, because you've got to be slotting that away, the same as it was in the first half when he went clean through. So you have to be harsh sometimes. You know, the lad's trying to earn himself a pro contract, and look, he's got to do better. And it's a great opportunity. He's had one later in the game where at least he's connected with it lovely, and it's just gone, you know, a foot or so past the post. But second half, look, I felt we dominated most of the second half, and as I've just said, that as Welwyn done to us first half made us go long, the second half Welwyn went long. So
how sort of specifically do we change it tactically to change that dynamic in the second half? Because I felt they moved it around well and had picked up lots of spaces in our half in the first half, but maybe didn't quite do that in the second. So what did we change to
without giving too much away, we're going to play him again next year, but we just recognised that is it Watkins, the 10?
Watkins,
yeah, Watkins, he's a great player. He was getting too much space and time, dropping into the hole. We were not alert to that in the first half, so we changed things around to stop that. We felt in the first half that young Raf was almost playing as a right back. I think they twisted us a bit out of and our shape was completely gone because of it, and hence Raf gave us nothing as an attacking player because he was doing too many defensive duties. And like I say, we recognised that, and we wanted to create overloads in the middle of the park, which we did by the change with the 2 attacking players when out of possession. It was the work out of possession that changed it, and then when Welwyn won it, we had extra players to them in the middle of the park, and we won it back. So we was always dominant in them areas, And as I say, the longer it went on, the pressure they were under, then that changes their whole concept, and they start going too long, and we've done superb in the second half. JJ's made, first half he makes the great penalty save, makes another great save. second half he doesn't make a save.
Yeah.
And that's how well the change and what we put into place worked for us to really. That's not to say they weren't a threat. That's not, you know, at no stage were they not a threat. But
yeah, they had a couple of words. I remember one in particular where they've floated it diagonally into the penalty area and the 11ers flashed it wide of the upright.
Correct,
That was probably
and that was over, and that was from our side. It was. I would say to you that if it's on target, JJ's got that covered. However, you're right, and like I say, it's not that we snuffed him out absolutely dead, but we've stopped him getting a shot on target at JJ. That one, as you said, mate, he's flashed one, and it really was probably a half, you know, literally a second or two, and he's had to take a shot. You know, and of course he's not hit the target with it, and it's gone wide. And I think they maybe run a header in the box, but you know that's all down to, I think, with how well in the end we marshalled it at the back, and how well the changing of what we were doing worked, and we started, like I say, we dominated, and we passed it better second half. We started to get the overlaps down left and right. We passed it to the players rather than lumping it over the top and expecting them to chase it and get it, and it just became a far different game because of it from our point of view. And you know, on this occasion, you know, we changed it. Like I say, we changed it around, and they're a very good side. I'd say to you, they're as good as anyone that's come here so far. Bear in mind who we've got coming next week, and Berkhamsted just behind them, but they played some great stuff today. So we have to look at it and say, you know, really praise what we've done, because to be able to turn it around against a side that was having that you know, that much of the game shows a lot of what we're doing well at the moment.
Skip, not many questions to cover now. Dave's pretty much covered all of it,
his pink drink he's changed
as always. But what I wanted to ask you is often we've talked in interviews this season about the importance of the first goal, but the last two games we're playing good opposition who are in and around us in the table. We've gone behind in both games, but how pleased are you that we've showed the character and maybe that resilience that maybe we didn't possibly have earlier in the season to come from behind in both those sides and get the 3 points?
I mean, it's still frustrating that we're conceding the first goal in so many games. I mean, I don't know what the exact stat is, but so that side of it's frustrating. But yeah, I agree with you. We since Christmas, we look a different animal. If I'm honest with you, we're playing with a bit of confidence. We're playing with a bit of freedom. We're creating chances. I mean, Welwyn could have had 2 or 3 goals first half. We could have had 4 or 5 second half. But that was because they were going for it and leaving themselves short at the back. So it always happens like that when you're leading 10 to go, 15 to go. You're going to catch teams on the break. But it's still frustrating we're conceding the first goal first in so many games. But yeah, the last 2 have been superb performances, really. I think we deserved it overall, but the keeper's kept it in the first half. So, as Keane says, that's his job.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking ahead to obviously another win on the board. There's still a lot of work to do if we're going to get into the playoff shake-up. But I was looking at the form guide ahead of next week's game with Real Bedford, and only Real Bedford have got more points than us in the last 10 league games. So it just shows that we are certainly heading in the right direction in terms of form, and maybe, let's say, it's going to be a big ask next week because obviously they're a good team and they're flying high at the top. But a positive result, and then all of a sudden, if by some stretch we can get a positive result next week, all of a sudden we're fancying our chances of being in that shake-up coming in the season.
Yeah, again, I think we're playing with a freedom now because we know we're not going down. We're not in the playoffs, so sometimes when you're in the playoffs, the teams are there to come and ruin your season. So last week we played Tamer in the playoffs, so we've gone there and got a result. Today, Welwyn were above us. We've got a result. We played Real Bedford here, who are top, going for the title. So let's try and take some points off them. So on that side of it, we can play with a freedom, knowing that if we make a mistake, we make a mistake. I think the difference with this run, I think that's 8 league games undefeated in the league now since Boxing Day, is I think we're outworking the opposition, and that was something that we probably weren't November and December we were getting out running areas. We've moved Laurie into midfield, and the one attribute that lad's got is he can run all day. He's very fit, and he seems to be driving the rest forward, and we're winning a lot more duels and the 50-50s. And yeah, I think we deserve to be where we are if you look at the season as a whole. But me and Dave, James, Tim, we'll probably end up looking at the end of the season and thinking you dropped poor points against teams in the lower half of the league. And that could eventually cost us a playoff spot. But yeah, get a result next week. Everybody's got to play each other, so we just keep winning. And I haven't seen many of the results today, so all we can do is look after ourselves. But it's the enjoyment. The lads today, they've worked their hearts out for 90 minutes. While it wasn't happening in the first half, they still worked hard. They still run themselves. They're still tackling. And yeah, like I said, you could say we weren't really doing that as a team. November and December.
Excellent stuff. We're heading to last, we've got 12 games to go now, and we've got Real Bedford next week is the first of, we've got to play all the top 5 before the end of the season, and as I say, probably next week is that proper marker. So I've mentioned it in my tweets. The last 2 games been proper markers for us, beating Tame and beating Welwyn at home. So probably next week is probably the ultimate test for us, isn't it? But I don't think we can go into the game with much better confidence with how we've turned things around since Boxing Day at Barn.
No, I mean the game, Real Bedford, they give us a bit of a battering, if you have to be honest, in the reverse fixture back in November, and fully deserved the result. But we weren't on it on the day. We conceded a very soft first goal. They were given a penalty very soon afterwards when no one's actually appealed for it. It came out of nowhere. But yeah, on the day they've absolutely battered us. So the one thing that we're going to be looking at next week is make sure that we compete in all areas. And then hopefully we've got a bit about us now. We've got pace down both flanks. We've got a guy that's holding the ball up. We're creating chances. Again, if you was to analyse today's game, we should have scored more. Last week, we should have scored more. I mean, Leverstock Green, the week before that, we should have scored. So we're creating chances, but we're not taking them. So let's not get greedy. If I sat here and said we weren't creating any chances, which was an issue at one point this year, so we're creating them, we just got to take them. So I'd like to think somewhere along the line we're going to end up scoring 4 or 5 in a game. But back to next week, yeah, well, it's a good marker to see exactly where we are as a group, and they're the best team in the league based on our previous performances. We've played everyone now, so yeah, be interesting how we perform as a group, individually, and tactics.
Excellent stuff, gents. Well, congratulations on another victory. We look forward to next weekend where hopefully there'll be a decent crowd in between 2 of the sort of the top form teams at the moment, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a closer contest than it was last time. So well done, gents, and we go again next Saturday here against Real Bedford.
Thank you.
Thank you.